I'm gonna say something that nobody wants to admit. At 23, it feels like everybody is ahead of you. And I don't mean just financially, I mean in life. Like career, money, body, relationships, confidence, all of it, you know? You scroll for 10 minutes and suddenly your whole existence feels outdated. I had a moment the other night, just laying there, phone above my face, scrolling. And every post felt like a reminder, you know, new crib, just hit 100K, big announcement coming soon, blah, 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 blessed, blah, blah, you know. I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, like, bro, I just paid rent. That's my fucking announcement. That's all I could say right now. You know, and that's what really made me want to just get up and start making these videos. You know, just talking with y'all for a few minutes. You know, learn some shit off my chest. You know, and so be it. And that's the crazy part. Nothing was actually really wrong with my life. I wasn't failing. I wasn't down bad. But comparison will make stability feel like you losing. And that's a trap. Because at 23, we don't measure progress by peace. We measure it by visibility. If it's not loud, it don't count. But that's not the case, bro. And growing up where I grew up, being ahead already meant something visible. You didn't say you were doing good. People saw it. Call different, clothes different, energy different. So subconsciously, that's still the scoreboard in my head. If it don't show, it don't count. But life don't work like high school anymore, you know? There's no ranking list. There's no GPA. Yeah, there's no GPA for adulthood. Just quiet progress. You know, nobody claps for you. And that's just how it is. You know, let me tell you something funny though. I once convinced myself I was behind because somebody my age bought a house. I didn't even want a house right now. I didn't even research mortgages, but because he did it, suddenly I felt late. And that's how fragile comparison is. Like it'll make you insecure about your goals you never had. And here's what really messed me up. I realized I don't actually know 90% of the backstory behind the people I compare myself to. I don't know if they got help. You know, I don't know if they in debt. I don't know if they stress. I just see the highlight, you know? That's all we see, the highlight. And my brain fills in the blanks like they living perfect, you know? Meanwhile, they probably fighting their own demons quietly. But social media don't show, it doesn't show quiet struggle. It shows loud success. So now you feel like you the only one in the middle, and being in the middle at 20 something feels uncomfortable because nobody celebrates middle. They celebrate extremes. Yeah, either you broke and it's a comeback story, or you rich and it's inspirational. But regular, stable, building slowly, that shit don't trend in the real world. And I think that's what nobody prepared us for, the middle years, the building years, you know. The nothing dramatic is happening, but everything is forming years. That's where we at. But because it's not flashy, it feels wrong. And that's just how it is. Let me ask you something real. If you disappeared from social media for 6 months, would your life actually fall apart, or would your peace go up? And be completely honest, because half of the pressure we feel is internal, is borrowed timelines, borrowed expectations, borrowed standards. We comparing our chapter 3 to someone's edited chapter 14. Is not logical, but emotionally it hits. There was a day I almost made a dumb financial decision, not because I needed it, not because it made sense, but because I wanted to feel ahead. I wanted something that screamed, I'm good. And I caught myself. I literally paused and thought, is this growth or is this insecurity? And that question saved me. Because insecurity will have you upgrading things that don't need upgrading. Your phone fine, your car fine, your apartment fine. But your ego wants motion. And the wild part is at 23, nobody actually expects you to have it all figured out. That pressure is self-imposed. We acting like life is a race with a finish line at 25, but it's not. Some people pop at 22, some at 28, some at 35. The timeline isn't universal, bro. But comparison makes it feel urgent, and urgency makes you reckless. Think about old Call of Duty lobbies. There was always that one kid already prestige 10 times, max level, everything unlocked. You just like you just started. Did that mean you were trash? No. It meant you just started. But imagine if you quit because you weren't maxed out in week 1. Like that's what we doing in real life. We judging ourselves mid process. Another thing I realized being ahead is subjective. Like ahead of who, according to who. Because I met people with money who's miserable, people with status who are anxious, people with businesses who don't sleep, you know. And then I met regular dudes with stability and peace. And honestly, peace looks richer any day of the week. Maybe the real problem isn't that we're behind. Maybe we're just early. And early feels awkward to a lot of people. Early feels unimpressive. Early feels like nothing is happening. But seeds don't look impressive either until they fucking grow. 5 years from now, we're gonna look back at 20 something and realize we were babies, bro. Emotionally, financially, mentally. But right now, it feels like we're supposed to be legends. That's the illusion niggas is giving us, you know. So if you feel behind right now, you probably not behind, bro. You're not behind. You probably just building quietly, and quiet builds and don't get applause, you know. You don't get flowers to the show over. You feel me? Stop measuring life by what's visible, bro. Start meaning it by what's stable. Are you smarter than last year? Are you more disciplined than you was 6 months ago? Is you less impulsive than you were before? Are you more self-aware? That's real progress, bro, not the aesthetics. You know. And at 23, the or whatever age you is, bro. I'm 23, about to be 24 in May. Feel me? And the goal isn't to look ahead. It's not to self sabotage, trying to catch up, because the worst thing you could do is rush your process. You know, trying to impress people who aren't even watching that closely. We all figuring this shit out. I just started this YouTube shit, but you know, as long as I'm more consistent, I know this shit gon' do something. But some just better at posting it, you know. Maybe the real flex right now is staying focused long enough to build something real. But shit, it's been, bro. It's been real. I'll catch y'all next one. Peace.